This was another thing we did at a conference. Last few years, we put together a conference called the eMarketing Insight Conference, where we bring hotels, resorts, convention and visitors bureaus in, and we do some education. And one of the sessions we had was on search engine optimization, and it was before lunch, and we were doing some searches for restaurants in Detroit because we held our conference in the Detroit area. Well, one of the things we'd searched for was Detroit restaurants, and a couple things came up here. And it's kind of interesting, and this gives you some perspective of what else you can learn when you're doing keyword research. Restaurants serving Thanksgiving dinner in Detroit, Michigan. How many people know why that would be a significant search? Anybody know what happens in Detroit on Thanksgiving Day? Parade. That's right. Football and a parade. That's right. The Lions play home downtown Detroit every Thanksgiving, and there's also a Detroit Thanksgiving Day parade. So if I was a restaurant person searching for Detroit restaurants, and this came up, I might say there's an opportunity here. If people are out there searching for Thanksgiving dinner in downtown Detroit restaurants. We also found air purifiers in bar restaurants in Detroit. And we also saw this one, birthday specials in restaurants in Detroit. And then this one, Detroit dirty restaurants. Now, we looked at that, and we said, okay, what's up with that? So we clicked on this little link here, and this tells you when a majority of those searches were done. It was all done in one day. So our assumption was that it was driven offline, where people went in and maybe Fox 2 News did a thing about the dirtiest restaurants in Detroit. People heard it offline, came in, were not able to see the news show, went back to the website, searched, and got some information. Okay, a couple key things to remember on your summary for metadata. Your title tag, 60 characters or less. Your description, about 150 to 200 characters. And your meta tags, precise words and phrases of your site content, about 1,000 characters, and maybe use 3 to 5 words. So these are key things you want to do for every page of your site. And then your content, each page should have a unique content that reflects that same keyword in the title tag, description, and sentence. And here's a couple more quick tips. Does anybody use Google Webmaster Tools? One of the things, if you is go to Google Webmaster Tools, it's all free. And this is part of the whole search process. You can go in and you can create a sitemap of your site, extremely easy to do. You load up the sitemap, and what this does is it tells Google where exactly all your pages are located and gives them tells them exactly where to go, those little spiders, when they're looking for your site. Now, a majority of the sites today, because the engines and the technology is so good, they're indexed anyway. But if you have a chance to use Google Webmaster Tools, highly recommend it. You go in there, you register your site, you submit a URL, add a sitemap, and they also have diagnostics tools for your site that'll go in and tell you if you have any broken links. If you have broken links, Google doesn't like broken links, so I'll give you a report there, and you can go back to those pages and correct those. Yahoo Search Submit, it's another thing by Yahoo. You can pay $48 a year to have them guarantee that they'll come back to your site every 2 weeks, as a bot will crawl it to make sure that the site is indexed and there's specific information about the web page on Yahoo. And this will kind of give you, as we start to go into the social media in here, this will kind of give you an idea of the impact of social media on search. We recently created a Flickr page, which is a photo page for my company, and we recently created a Facebook fan page. Well, when we did a Google search, if you look through here, you see our Facebook fan page showed up right here as number 3. And if you came down here, our photo set on Flickr was number 6. So the other big thing about social media is as you're creating content, it's being indexed by the engines. And it's so important that this helps in your search technology. So if you go out and create a Flickr group, which we'll show you how to do in a little bit, or you'll go through and you create a Facebook fan page, this all helps in your search engine optimization. One of the other interesting things that's happening right now on the web is share this and add this. And this is a way to share content among peers. Has anybody seen these buttons? Probably one of the most influential things that are happening in social media is the ability for your peers or your customers or consumers to share content and data. So you can add these to your site. Both of them are free. There's a site called sharethis.com and addthis.com. Sites are free. What they do is they give you little icons like that to add on each page of your website. You click on that icon, it gives you the ability to share anywhere you would like. So for example, if I want to add this to my Facebook page, I click here. Opens up a little dialog box. I log into Facebook, and I can post this on my Facebook wall or fan page, wherever I'd like to post it. Gives me the ability to do that now through this tool. Now, the other cool thing about this tool is they also have diagnostic reports. So it tells you where your consumers are sharing your content. Now, you say, what's the significance of this? Well, this plays into the future advertising and marketing decisions you're going to make, right? If I look through and I say, well, 40% of my customers are going in and sharing my content on Facebook, maybe there is an opportunity now for me to do some additional marketing on Facebook. So all of these tools, the Google Webmaster tools, the share this, add this, it's so important in the analytics that all of these tools provide, and they do because there's so much tracking available on the web right now. Everything is trackable, and there's content and data for just about any step you take, especially in social media. And people say, well, social media really isn't measurable. How are you measuring it? Well, this is probably the first form of measurement that we've been doing in social media, and you can see the impact that it makes throughout your sites. Okay, photo sharing. How many people have used photo sharing sites like Flickr or Panoramio? Anybody familiar with Panoramio? This right here is a screenshot from Panoramio. We'll show you this in a little bit. So what do we learn about mapping services? Well, this was in this summer's edition of Condé Nast Travel magazine. This traveler said, to avoid disappointment with the hotel's location, I searched potential properties on Google Earth. Has anybody used Google Earth before? Okay, Google, the mapping thing, you click on it, you can see all over the world. On Google Earth before booking, the satellite view provides the idea of the hotel's surroundings, and in many cases, additional photos are posted by others as well. I recently used this approach when searching a hacienda in Mexico. Although the hotel's website showed fabulous shots of a secluded resort, when I zoomed in on Google Earth, I discovered the hacienda was on a busy street. I opted for a similar property outside the metropolis and had a relaxing experience. Okay? So again, we're not controlling our brand anymore, right? I may have that hacienda. I may put out a brochure. I may post some photos. I may put up a reservation spot and say, here's your hacienda. That's not good enough for the consumer anymore. They're going to go out and they're going to look to see what their peers are saying, and they're going to go to sites like Google Earth or Google Maps to kind of check the temperature of what exactly this resort's about and what it looks like and where the location is. And of course, we know 17% of online travelers have used this mapping service.